So, weird setup, I guess, but I wanted to do a video. I already did a video, I'll probably link that in the description or something, doing a kind of a quick rundown of all these different keyboards I have. Because I want to get rid of some. And so I figured, why not make an ASMR video where I can talk a little bit more about them, um, and just, kind of just like hear the sounds more of them and stuff too. So I thought that might be fun. So we're just gonna do that, uh, and then that'll give me more reason to feel like I can get rid of them after this. I guess is my main thing because I need to downsize a lot of them. But here we have this first one, which you may have already seen before in its own video. Probably get a bit of a better angle and view and stuff. I'm just using the mic on my whatever, the mic connected to my camera, because right now I don't have a good setup to put my Blue Yeti, because it's like on a big stand thing, and so I was like, well, I'll do this for now. And this keyboard is I made a few notes. This is the iMicro KB IMK9, and it was cost me $8. This is the one where basically it I got it as a prop because it was cheap. I wanted an ASMR prop for a video, typing on an external keyboard. So I got this one to give you an idea of how cheap this is. I mean, it's $8, sure, but it's also the fact that this thing is like, it's you could buy it in a pack of, one or 50. So I'm guessing they kind of thought that this was going to be for like a cheap thing for like offices or something. I mean, it is pretty cheaply made too. Like, I don't know if you can tell, well, you can tell on the top here. It's like this stuff is like very cheap. I mean, there's a little bit of style to it, I guess, but these keys are kind of stiff, and also they kind of stick at the same time. They're pretty loud. So, I mean, I also don't like this clunky key, but it's just a simple wired USB, it's nothing fancy. And it's okay. It's a little bit loud even for a prop, but it served its purpose. I think that video got decent views if I remember correctly, so that's cool. And that's all I really have to say about this one. Yeah, okay. And since I'm not hopefully gonna have to edit anything here, I'm just gonna move this over and we'll get to the next one. moves. Maybe I don't want the cord to be sitting on the cord like that. Is that in the frame there, kinda? This one, have a better shot of that, sort of. Maybe not the most amazing setup for lighting and everything either, but well, let's make this high. One brighter. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. This is the NPET OK20. And you can probably see one of the things that drew me to it right away were like the circles on all these keys. I don't think it helps much. It's not like it's hard to, you know, hit the keys. But this one seems to be a little bit nicer, you know, build quality and finish and everything. It's even got these little, like, multimedia and other keys. I mean, I don't know how often you really need to open your email, web browser, and calculator via a single key press. These other ones are nice, and the light indicators and stuff. I don't know. It is still a cheap keyboard though, which is what also drew me to it, because this is actually $6. And you can see these keys are obviously like thinner than those other ones are, but it's nowhere near as rattly. And again, I mean, it's just, you know, simple USB connection. So something like fancy either. It's just kind of, it's just kind of here. It's just kind of, if you're gonna get one of these cheap ones, I would recommend getting this one, just because it is both a little bit cheaper than the other one, and also just nicer keys. They don't get stuck or anything. As long as you don't mind your keys being kind of flat, but these are obviously not like quite as shallow as like laptop keys. And also these are like, this is also, I mean, like both of these are like, those are they looked at. Both of these have been membrane keyboards, so just keep that in mind as well. So they're not gonna, you know, they're gonna feel a little mushier than a mechanical kind of keyboard or anything, but a lot of people use these most of the time because they are much cheaper than those, and you know, it's not, definitely not bad at all. If this was like backlit, it'd be great, but it's not. It's just a keyboard. Now this one, yeah, alright. This one is the Dell something or other. Hold on, I think I have it over here. I think I screenshotted what it's actually called. This is the Dell Pro Wireless Keyboard and Mouse. But we're not really talking about computer mice, but this is the mouse for it. We'll maybe talk about those later. Another day. model KM5221W. So this is apparently, according to their documentation, white. And even with this lighting, the way this is adjusting for stuff, maybe it looks more white than that, but it's really just a light gray. Yeah, it's a light gray. I think it kind of shows up there. It's got one receiver for both things. They're a combo thing, so if you want to use one, you don't have to use the other, but you have to plug something else in. So, like, I don't know, it would be weird to use only one and not the other, because then the other's, like, useless for anything else. This is like, you know, a big full keyboard, but still kind of like, you know, with these smaller function keys and stuff. It's like, you know, it's pretty thin and it's long. I don't know if you can really tell. Let's see if we can get a closer shot of this. I feel it'll be really noticeable that, like, there's like a slight texture on the keys. So it does feel very nice, and you can obviously tell it's very similar. To the others, kind of a long escape key over here. But the thing is, you know, it's like, you know, flatter membrane kind of thing. I do like these kinds of keyboards. I think these are still pretty comfortable and everything. This also comes with a piece of software that has like a thing where you can map all these function keys to whatever you want, and also like the scroll wheel on the mouse, if you wanted it to do something different, I guess. But it'd be still not backlit or anything. Something, you know, obviously nothing crazy fancy about this. So, but for whatever reason, Dell decided, you know what? Let's still charge $50 for this thing. Which, I mean, like, $50 for a keyboard and mouse is a lot for just this and this. So I don't know, like, what the thought process was behind that. I mean, it's a good brand and all, I guess, and it does feel like decent quality and everything. Like, it'll probably last you a while. But this I actually got, because you're probably like, well, why would you pay $50 for this? And I didn't. The reason I have this is because I helped somebody. Well, I helped them actually pick out and set up a new Dell all-in-one. They wanted one of those, so I was trying to look at the specs and stuff, and I helped them set it up. And they already had a keyboard and mouse that they liked better anyways, or whatever. They liked those. I think at least the mouse was wired. Maybe the keyboard was wired. Maybe they both were. At least one of them was wired. Maybe it was the keyboard. I don't know. Whether, like, they were going to use that anyways. They were really going to use this. So I was like, well, I like playing around with keyboards. If you don't want this, I'll take it. And so I got this for helping them do that. I didn't realize that this was that expensive of a thing by itself, so that's kind of nuts. But now I feel a little bad about it, but it's also a very quiet keyboard, as you can perhaps tell. Like, my little, like, I'm always a little worried because my, like, sound indicator thing on my screen doesn't always go off, so I'm like, did the mic even pick up sound? But it probably did. So this bad boy is the Snpurdiri, Snpurdiri. That's the name they decided for their brand. The STK8 it costs $16. And I got this more so to see, kind of the size. If I wanted a smaller keyboard, I like that it still has arrow keys over here. Let me see, maybe a slightly better shot of that, maybe. It's kind of hard to see in the light. So let's plug it in because it does, in fact, light up. You can kind of see that there. It's a little on the loud side for that, actually. At least for a membrane keyboard, because this is a membrane keyboard. Actually, let's just turn off these lights a little bit. And those ones. And see, ooh. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty cool, huh? It also has this thing here, you can maybe see that, where it's got the arrows on WASD, so if you hold function, it turns those into arrow keys, but since you already have arrow keys, that seems weird. Like, why did they do that? I don't know the answer to that myself. You also can, like, it's weird because it also, instead of doing, like, just that, it also switches the arrow keys into being WASD, which seems unnecessary. It's like, why would you want the arrow keys to be that? Like, I understand the one way, I don't understand the other. It also makes me feel like maybe they have another size of this that doesn't have the arrow keys, so that would make this make more sense to do, because I don't see why you'd use these instead of these otherwise. Another elephant in the room. Well, okay, so, like, here's the other thing I want to mention quick, as long as we're looking at it too, is that these lights are, like, not amazing. They're okay. Like, you can kind of tell where the sections are. The red looks, like, really dark. See, it almost looks like it's turning off, running through there. But the other, like, the main, like, actually, I'm seeing the back too, quick. Yeah, you can kind of see that it just glows right through the bottom of this thing. It's just the cheap, like, I kind of like the two-tone white thing going on a little bit, but yeah, it just glows right through that, so that makes it seem a little cheap, which it is. It definitely is cheap. But the elephant in the room with this thing really is just the fact that it's a membrane, keyboard, but it boasts about having a mechanical feel, and it does not feel mechanical. It definitely feels like a membrane keyboard. There's a little more action to the keys than maybe some other membrane keyboards will have, so that is nice. I mean, it's not terrible, but it certainly isn't like using a mechanical keyboard. And also, the reason I haven't been touching it for a little bit here, I'm just talking, is because I'm pretty sure this thing times out after a few minutes of not doing anything. Despite it being a wired keyboard, which is another thing that makes me feel like they probably are using a similar, like, thing in multiple keyboards. Some of them probably don't have arrow keys, which is why the function can do this with WASD. They probably have some that are wireless instead of being wired, so that's why they want the lights to automatically shut off. Because obviously, if I cared about saving power, like, if if I was going to save power on a wired keyboard, I wouldn't get an RGB one. And if I was going to save power with a wireless keyboard, I guess, like, I don't know. If it was wireless, it would make sense. Because it's wireless, I guess. You want to save battery life with that. I could always turn the thing off. I could turn it down. So I don't know why this will decide to just kind of... I don't know how long it takes to shut off, though. It's been going for a little while now. It's probably... Well, it probably feels like longer because I'm just sitting here talking. And I feel bad about this. And I also want to go through all the different lighting modes. In a moment here. I'm just waiting for it to turn itself off. I've got to have my camera plugged in for this. And it's an ASMR thing. I was thinking of doing this in 60 FPS, just doing 1080p, so it's like not a huge video. And looking back on that, I definitely should have done that. I definitely should have been recording it that way. But I'm doing it in 4K because I was like, well, I'll just set it up here and do it that way. But it's probably good to see things a little better, but I don't know, some of the refresh rate might be weird on this. And I do feel bad that I can't use my Blue Yeti here without... I basically would have to disassemble it from the stand, put it on the little mini stand, and try to put that stand up here. And, like, I could have done it, maybe, but it would have taken a long time. And then I'd have to put it back on the big stand. And I didn't feel like doing all that. And my backup plans for trying to get it to be somewhere else were not really viable right now. And I really wanted to... Since I already had all the keyboards out and labeled and everything, I wanted to get these, you know, and get this done. It's not turning off yet. It will. So I might walk out of the room and wash my glasses because they're a little smudgy and it's starting to bother me. And then we'll see if this thing turned off. In the meantime, it's gonna do it. I mean, I swear to you, it's gonna. I'm not making it up. I'm like pretty sure that this thing turns off. So I'll be back. They got that other light on it too. It's gonna. I have a light on, a third light back here. Hopefully that light works for at least most of the video. I have returned from washing my glasses. You still haven't turned off yet, huh? We're gonna give a little bit more time here. If it doesn't turn off, then maybe I made that up. But I'm like, still pretty sure that it happens. Like, I pretty much think it does. My glass is still weird. Oh man, they are. this out without making a loud noise. Yeah, I can. I think that's like what happens is I try to wash my glasses and then like my eyelashes touch them and then they make streaks on them on the inside again. I think that's what it is. I don't know. But I do think, and I'm just gonna plug my computer in because the battery's a little low. I try not to leave it plugged in too much, and also it's probably gonna turn the fan on because it gets hot when it starts charging. But you know, when you're stalling for time, waiting for your keyboard to turn off, you know, that's. And the thing is also, if I remember right, this also doesn't actually totally turn off, right? It just goes to sleep. It turns the lights off. But as soon as you, like, you know. Yeah. As soon as you, like, hit a button, I want to click back into my window just in case. Like, now see it's off. Like, why would you want it to turn off? But then you hit a button to want to see it again, and now, oh, geez, it typed the character right away. So you have to be careful with that as well. Yeah, my glasses look kind of smudgy for some reason. Maybe it's just my eyes. Maybe my eyes just suck. It could just be that. Oh, it looks a little smudgy on the eyes, too. What the heck? Well, let me do this quick. So, I go less crazy, maybe. That's how that worked. It's like little particles get stuck on it and they never come off. Anyway. So let's see if we see the hotkeys here. So I can make the, it says brightness. Well, that's an arrow, that's not going to do anything. That's the speed, so I can slow it way down. Which I think you usually have that mode on. Let's do it somewhere kind of in the middle there. Is this, which one's brightness? That one says mode. Oh, that's the brightness. So you change the different levels of brightness. This one says power. I don't know what that means. Is that related to the light? Oh, that's how you get a solid color. What the? Why is it like way dark over there? What's going on with that? It's like darker on the left side. That's weird. Okay. And this just turn the light off totally? Okay. And the mode, there's this mode that we were in. There's this mode that like chunks it across weirdly, just more shakily. That looks just like a glitchier version of the other thing. Ooh, we got color changing mode, which is kind of neat, except for the red gets so dark that you almost can't see when it goes there. Oh, and that's it. So you only get those modes. So it's not terrible. Okay feel and stuff, and for $16 it's not bad. But it is definitely is very cheap. It feels cheap. The turning off thing is a little annoying, especially for a wired keyboard. It's USB-C though, so that's cool. So you at least get a nice USB-C cable if you USB-A to USB-C if you want that. But yeah, not bad, really. And from this angle, you can really see that there's this really bad spot on my carpet here where I spilled stuff. And the camera is just like, in person it's like less noticeable than on the camera. The camera's really like, alright, let's make sure we make that spot there really stand out. So now you'll be looking at that for the entire video now, I'm sure. Let's go to the next one. But this one wasn't bad. Honestly, this one's a little better for my phone. The form factor isn't bad for here either, but like I would like a numpad and everything, so it's okay. It's okay. But just okay. Do we have here? Let's shed some light on the situation. And here we have I don't know if you can see it in the, oh, there goes a plug, in the bottom of that there, little thing here, the EU, so Z11. It's got red switches in it. I guess I don't know if these are swappable or not. They're not like, they're not super clicky switches or anything. They're not tactile. They're just, they're just red linear switches. But you can hear the springs in it. I'm sorry, that's probably not very relaxing, is it? You can hear the springs in it. So it's not the most quiet, but it's got a pretty good, like, pretty solid build to it. It's all plastic, but it's like a nice plastic. And little feetsies and stuff. And this was like, what was this? $29. This was about $30. It's right in the $30 range. I really like the black and gray. There is an optional, like I think it gave me in the box. There's like a, I mean, a lot of these gave me kind of some other stuff in the boxes too. This one gave me a key puller, and it gave me, so I guess it probably is. I guess yeah, these are swappable. At least the keycaps are, because it gave me a keycap like puller, and also this is like this. They gave me an extra space bar. I don't know why you would want like I think it's like yellow. I don't know why I would want like a yellow space bar when there's none of that up here. I really like the black and gray. And this looks really cool when it's just like this, sitting out and stuff. Looks like, you know, like something out of Star Wars, like you'd see like on like an Imperial computer desk of like, oh yes, my keyboard. But the cooler part, even cooler. I mean, you also have this angled plug in it. It's like, you see how it's like angled down? I mean, you can plug it in the other way because it's USB-C and angle it up if you want. I just angle it down because I did. And this one plugs in also USB-A on the other end here. And ta-da! Well, you can't really see that very well, can you? You can up there, and you can tell that the frame rate does not like it. But let's turn the lights off once more. And this one will not turn off while you're using it. Look at that. This is my favorite mode. I just leave it in this one because it has a like circle-y coming out effect. It doesn't do anything to the Windows key for some reason. I don't know why that is. But yeah, that's these lights look really, really good, especially in person. They're gonna look better than even on camera, obviously. But like these look like really, really good. coming through here. This looks super, super good, especially for this price. And like, it just feels really nice. Very good. And let's see if we can play with some of the stuff on it. I don't remember what button to do what. Are they labeled? Oh, it's also the thing if you hit function and do WASD, which I don't like these parts. Anything underneath these like characters aren't like lighting up. But like, this has the, if you hit function WASD are arrows. This one does that too. And here it actually makes sense because there's no arrows on the side. So like, it is a nice size, and I've used this a lot on my phone with an adapter because it doesn't normally plug into my phone. Also, it's really cool. Like, ooh, look at that. And like, if I bring that closer, will it like adjust more? Probably not. Not really. But like, yes, the way the lights come through there, it is really cool. So like, if it had like a wireless option on it, which they maybe make ones that too, I don't know. I probably would use this with my Steam Deck or something. But because it's only wired, it would only work when it's docked. So I'm like, eh. It does save a lot of space, and I used to use it for my phone, except for the connector thing. The adapter would always like, it would either really easily disconnect, or sometimes I'd plug it into my phone and it wouldn't recognize it. So I just quit doing it. It also eats kind of a lot of battery when you use it because it's powering this whole thing. And they probably don't expect you to power this off of a phone. Okay, where are the light controls? Let me take a look here. There's a thing that is a light. Maybe it's that. I might have to look up the manual with this. Look at the manual, not look up the manual. I have to look up where the manual is. We're gonna say this does it. So what character was I even on? The M key? That might be the mode. That's not doing anything. Okay, so I turned it off. This mode looks like the exact same thing. Is this the brightness? Okay, that's the brightness. So that is not the mode. Oh, I think that actually was like these things move it. I lied. I super lied. Do those say things under them? Did I mess anything up? I don't think so. What if I do this? Nothing. I'm probably gonna have to look up what the hotkeys were, because I know I don't remember them. I swear it has something to do with like those left and right things. I'm gonna dig it for the box. This might be loud. Luckily, it was on the complete bottom of everything. So, what are the things? Yeah, where are the FN plus space to display the color? Doesn't make any sense. I already did FN plus space. It didn't do anything. That doesn't seem to work. That's weird. That's a bad sign, huh? The brightness adjusted that. Oh, this is the speed adjustment, is this. So you make it go fast or slow. We'll keep it slow. How do I change what the lighting effect is? It says 20 LED back. Okay, 20 modes. So it's function plus alt. Does alt have a thing on it that I didn't see? Boy, it sure does. That also has an M on it. No, it doesn't. That has an M on it. The M has the thing that's not the menu on it. Okay, so if I do this. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. Well, I guess, is that better? I don't even know what's better for you guys. Oh, whoa. This thing has such cool colors on it, dude. Oh, this is like if I type stuff. Oh, this one, does this turn it off? Or, no, this one is just a full on with that there, but it's not moving anything. That's weird. I don't remember that one. Ooh, it's pulsing. Pulsing. This is gonna go between all the colors, I think. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. I promise the flickering is only on video. It's not in person. I don't know what the refresh rate of that is. I still don't know why the Windows key doesn't ever change. That seems like they should do that. It's just a very small thing, I guess. Oh, whoa. That's kind of neat. These would be cool if you're just like not using it. Let's head out here. Oh. Also, one that like kind of circles around. Yeah, look at that. Oh, dude, it's cool. This is such a cool keyboard for like $30. Oh, this is another tapping one. Yeah. And just slowly does weird stuff everywhere. Ooh. Oh, that's cool. I remember using this mode a lot too. I mean, like, I think if you touch stuff, it like dims it. Oh no, if you touch it, it changes the color. That's pretty cool. I remember using this mode a lot though, because it just had a bunch of colors everywhere, and these colors all like just like so like vibrant. They look so nice. I really like it. So just sit around. Whoa. Slick game of Snake going on. It has the line moving across it. See, like it does it really well too. The red's still a little dark, but not as bad as that other one. I don't know what this is. Oh. Oh. Just changes as it does it? Oh, that's... I mean, this would be really hard to type on this in the dark. Guess I can't really see any of those, like, the actual extra functions and stuff if things don't light up, obviously, under these keys. So that's a little annoying. But also, like, how often do you use those? So I guess it's okay. And then oh, this is the turny one. This is one I was thinking of before. I think this is like definitely like a clock spin kind of swipe around thing. Cool. Oh, this is pretty cool too. Where it just like does that, but like up in lines. Oh, that's so cool. It's like a fruit roll up in motion. Best ad you could possibly get, right? Fruit roll up in motion. And then we're back here, and then like, yeah, I mean you can do it as like solid colors. I don't know why it's not doing it. Maybe you can only do it on certain ones or something. But like you can like before I did it, it used to. Now maybe it only does it on certain ones. Like I go here. If you do this, you can get the full color spectrum, and then you can be like, I want it to be this color, and then it does it in that color. So I guess if you have the solid on one, right? Like if you have the one that's just like the rainbow keys or whatever effect you're doing, and it only works on certain effects, I guess, where it will change the color of everything. So if I do that again, I'm like, oh, I want to bring it back to the regular ones. The keys keep changing colors, so this is the color changing one. I think there's all the colors. So that's like, okay, yeah, like here, if I'm like, oh man, I want to do everything in this color. Well, there it is. And you're like, you know what, now I want the multicolor back, right? Because it's like, this is boring. So I want to bring the multicolor back. There you go. So this is like really cool. Where is it? Is it after that? Yeah, I'm leaving it on that because I really like that mode. So, like I said, I might keep this because I might find a use for it, maybe. But I'll see how I feel about it. But I do really like this keyboard. I wish I had more, like, better usage, like, use case for it. Or, like, a full size of this so I could have this kind of, like, the lights and stuff and this kind of stuff, but with all the keys. So, yeah. We look at that for probably way too long. But, it's cool. This is ASMR video. Who cares if it's long, right? I don't. We'll maybe fall asleep to it. Who knows? Alright, let's shed a little light on this situation. And here we have the first in the road to my looking for my ideal keyboard. This is the what is it called? This is the Havit KB487L. It's got red switches. It's $40, and I gotta say, I do like this is like another one where I don't know if you can see this in the thing, but it's got like a slight texture to the keys. and I really like the, it's a more of a muted, like it's like kind of like a warm white, like the white, black, and orange. It definitely looks like a very good, like, I remember pulling this out during Halloween. It's a fun, like, Halloween decoration keyboard. It feels nice to type on. I find red switches are a tad loud sometimes, just because they're like, they're linear. They just go right to the ground, so they're not padded or anything. So like, they're not clicky. But yeah, red switches are pretty seem to be pretty common on things that I've seen. So and I mainly got this one. Oh yeah, also the build is, again, it's kind of classy. I don't know why it's got these can you see that? These grills on the bottom like this. Like, it's not like but it's just a wired keyboard, USB, type A thing going on over here. I got this one, as I was saying, as I scatterbrain all over the place, because you can see the design here is that I never use the home cluster, but I do like having full arrow keys, and I like having a numpad. So looking at this, I was like, wow, this is perfect, right? And it's close. There are basically two things that really hold this back. One is the fact that this is not a full numpad. It doesn't have like the plus and like enter key over here, so if you're using this, you want to like, like, even where you can use like the plus function, like, it's not even on there at all, is it? You would have to like go over to the the plus over here, and if you want to use enter, you'd be doing this whatever, and you want to hit enter instead of going like over here like your muscle memory will have. You'll have to hit this enter. The other thing is that this is supposedly backlit, and we'll take some light away from the situation to show that off, to show you the problem with that. Yeah, that's the part that's backlit, the numpad. What numbers are these? Who knows? Ideally, you'll be able to remember where they are, but again, this is not a full numpad, so you might be a little thrown off kilter with it. And if you turn numlock off, then the light goes away. It's actually harder to see it, in the light when that's on. So if I want to be able to see this better without the light behind these keys, they don't have translucent characters. Like caps lock too. Caps lock, you turn that on, caps lock key is lit. Can you see that over there? Yeah. So like, it's like that. And it, I'll turn the lights back on for a sec here, just to be like, oh yeah. So like in the light, it just makes it like slightly harder to see that if you go like this versus like, it makes it almost like harder to read it because the light's behind it. Now, I'm pretty sure you can switch out the keycaps on this, right? But it's like, well, I guess I should leave that on, huh? But it's like, basically, I guess the big question is, number one, why wouldn't you have keycaps with translucent characters over here at least, where you're gonna use them and see them? And number two, why wouldn't you have all of the keys be backlit or none of them be backlit if you were gonna do this? Because it's gonna be more important to see everything than just the numpad. If you're gonna memorize anything, it would be easier probably to memorize the numpad and look at where these are specifically placed, because these could be slightly different depending on what keyboard you get, to some extent of like positioning and what got put where sometimes, right? And also, you could have just had it not be backlit and just thrown indicator lights in somewhere for these things, or cut little holes in like the caps lock and numlock so you could just see the light through the key itself, when they light up. So I don't know. It's just a really silly design. It was close. It was getting close to what I wanted, but basically, if this entire thing was backlit, I would probably adjust to this and get keys that you could see through them. But since the whole thing is not, what's the point? So that's very disappointing. So it's not bad, but it's not quite right. So then we've got ourselves a take two on the situation. Look at that. Another nice, beautiful, beautiful black, white, and orange keyboard. I really like the way the characters stand out on this too. There's just nice dark and bold characters, and I don't know how well they're showing up on cam. But yeah, they look really nice. This is the legs. I put the little legs out, I guess. Oh, that's a loud snap. Oops. And this has brown switches in it, and this board is also kind of cool because it has like but yeah, it's really cool because like the brown switches give you a little bit of a bump. They're still kind of more like linear. They're not really like clicky. So those are nice. Oh yeah, the name of this. I should bring up this sheet so we know what the hell we're talking about. This is the Royal Kludge RK100. This was actually $64, and this one intrigued me too because of the design here, where you've got I don't remember if this is like a 90% or something like that. But basically, it has all of the keys on here, but they just like kind of smushed everything together. And so I still get full arrow keys. I got a numpad, and you don't have like the huge zero, so you have just the little zero. And then you have the enter over here, so which is nice. I think this one maybe came about the closest to what I was looking for this stuff. I mean, sometimes I might have to be like a little careful so I don't like, you know, overshoot the shift and hit arrow, but it's not that hard to deal with that because for whatever reason I always use the shift, right? I don't know why I never use left shift. For some reason I just never do, right? Almost never. Maybe occasionally if I'm like hunting and packing, I'm like, eh. But even then, a lot of times I'll be like, eh. So like, this also can connect via, I mean, it can be wired, it can be Bluetooth, it can be a little receiver down there. It also has a USB hub in here, so you could plug in two other things in wired mode and piggyback like a mouse and a phone charger or something off of this. So it's pretty cool. And like all the keys are swappable, all the switches are swappable. Let's do this again though. Let's do this again. Let's turn the lights off. And let's just whoa, witness the get in here, you jerk. Ta-da! Yeah. Again, they've opted to not have transparent characters on the switches, which is fine. On the keycaps rather, which is fine. But when you have a backlit, you can't see the thing, so this doesn't do anything. So I don't know why this has been a recurring theme. Now, I will say that I like this one so much. Also, it's just not RGB, which is fine. I don't need it to be RGB. That's like a neat bonus, I guess. But I'm like, yeah, the white is fine. As long as I can see it in the dark is what matters. But with the keycaps like this, obviously you can't. But the main thing is that I like this so much that I was like, you know what? I got, and I'll probably show that in a future video or something. You probably already saw me put those on. I think I maybe have a video where I did put these on. I might try to review these or something. But I did get keycaps for this, and I swapped out all these keycaps, and they're like gray instead of black. It's like white, gray, and orange, I think, or white, gray, and black maybe. I have to look at them again. Um, but basically, like they are like these are smooth on the front too, which like I kind of prefer the texture on keycaps. But like, yeah, those like don't look as nice in the light. These look really really nice when you have a light on it. But those keycaps you can see through them. So I guess I kind of want to keep this one as like a potential my main keyboard maybe, because it is still smaller than a full keyboard with all the things that I need on it. So I can maybe adjust to it. Although weirdly you can kind of see, I don't know if I can show up my cam in here. You can actually kind of see the screw in here right there. That's a little jarring. This doesn't really matter, but like, so this is like a pretty cool option. I do like this quite a bit. This was very very close, um, and it's definitely doable with a little adjusting. It's definitely very doable. So I was pretty happy with this one. And the ability to customize it is cool. For like projects, if you want to have different switches and different keycaps, you have like options to play around with it. It's a pretty nice, inexpensive board for something like that. Some of these get crazy. Alright. Now we're in the part where I've got this. Look at that. Yeah, these parts around here, that's like metal. This like base is like metal. Ooh, isn't that nice? What are we looking at? Got like branded on the cable. And you got like their little logo-y thing on the other end of the cable. Yeah. This is the Everest 60 from a company called Mountain. And this, I think these might also be brown switches. I don't remember. They might have been black switches, but I think they were brown switches. They feel kind of like those other ones, so I feel like they're brown. They're like a bit of a bump. You have different options you can get, and I believe these are all swappable. And again, these keycaps have a slight texture, not as much as some of the other ones do. But I got this one for a few reasons. Yeah, it's a pretty good angle like this, and it's not like actually pretty quiet for some of those. Not like super spring or anything. It's not. I didn't shake the other few. Also, interestingly, this has stuff like on the bottom here. You have these little things for adjusting there's magnets, and you get like more of these in the box. You can adjust the height of how high you want it. That's cool. And the multiple things here, this is not a USB-C hub or anything. Don't get too excited. It's just 3 different places you can plug it in. I think that's one of the things they really wanted you to know. Was like you can't, do that. And I don't know, some of the other stuff for connections, like it's kind of like particular how you connect certain things to it. But let's plug it in quick. boom, takes a little while to load this up, and then boom. Oh, now it's on. You can start. Okay. Yeah, so it feels good. I think it's nice. It does come with software. Or I guess it doesn't come with the software. You can download the software from their site called Basecamp, and you can use that to customize the lighting. You can change like the lighting of any key to like a bunch of different, like any color or whatever, fully customizable thing like that, and do other fancy stuff and have different presets and stuff. But I'm like, you know what? This is fine. I just need it to look. The colors didn't look that vibrant. This is like the brightest white I could get to it. So it's kind of like definitely like a bluish, soft bluish white. And yeah, it still kind of shines around out to these things a lot actually. Which I mean, this even here is like this is just an extra bar of light. You can tell that like there's the keys, and there's like that thing, and there's like this extra bar of light. So it's kind of cool. I do like the bar of light. It's kind of neat the way it like casts light out on stuff. But you're looking at this like, well, this looks like that 65% kind of style of like, oh yeah, you have the arrows, whatever, that's cool, but like, what makes this so enticing over something else? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the side here, take this whole magnetized thing off here. It's a whole bunch of magnets. Even the box has magnets in it to close the box. It's really cool. Set that over there. I'm going to set something over here because I also bought this piece. You know, just have a little thing on the back here. And we'll just hook this in here. Maybe. And now we have a numpad too. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool, right? Like, because again, we have the numpad, and I have arrow keys, and we save some of the space of not needing all of them, you know. Actually, I don't remember. I think these might also double as function keys, but I don't remember if these do. If you hit function on them, that I don't remember. They don't say specifically, so that I don't remember. So you're saving some space up there with that, I guess. But like, yeah. And just yeah, saving the space of not having the home cluster that I never use, so it looked really good. This shift key sucks because a lot of times when I go to hit this key, like I was mentioning before, I always hit like the right shift key for things. So I either have to train myself to use the left shift key, or a lot of times I'm going to end up hitting either like a slash thing here, or I'm going to end up hitting the arrow when I don't want to. Unless I'm slow and careful, and if I with enough practice, maybe. Also, let's just give it the dark treatment for a sec here. Wow. I think it's pretty bright. And that thing also has the edge connector thing like that, whatever. Oh yeah, like that's cool, right? Yeah, these 3 plugs on the top are just for plugging in any side you want for that. So that's kind of more what that's for. Look at this, just light up my hands. It's a really cool look for this keyboard for sure. And the other thing that you can do is that I'm like, okay, well, let's say I'm gonna unplug this over here. And I'm like, oh, let's remove this thingy from here, and remove this thingy on this side of this, and then I'm just gonna go in here. And it's all dark, so you can't really see it. And then you're like, oh, you know what? Actually, why don't I try really hard to move this and fail on camera. Ah, come on. Wow, this is really hard to move. And move over here. Now it's on the other side. And you're like, actually, I want my numpad over here. And now you have a numpad over there. So it has like the modular thing. So the idea is you can get different like modules and stuff, and plug them in and connect more of the, you know, mountain line of things or whatever. I think these maybe these only are compatible with each other too. I don't know what kind of madman has their numpad over here, but you know, this was a cool idea, and I liked it. Very neat, very interesting. But yes, the downside is this tiny shift key prevents me from really fully enjoying it. The other downside is that this entire thing got me so excited that together this cost me $165. This was not worth it. Mainly because of this. It's doable, but just not super comfortable, so I'm still kind of on the fence. I kind of want to keep it because it is expensive and it is nice other than the tiny shift, so I'm still on the fence a bit with this, but I only need so many keyboard rights. We will see. I might just shove it in a box somewhere, at least, hide it away until I feel like I actually need it. But not a bad keyboard if you don't mind the tiny shift key. Very cool idea, very good build, you know, very solid metal and magnets and everything. The presentation is huge. I mean, like, you also get stickers with it, which I haven't put on anything because I don't know what I would put stickers on still, but like you could if you had a place for those. I currently have like a small batch of stickers that have nowhere to go. I'll plug this and plug this. And when this is not in use, I can just kind of go like this. Maybe if it'll be nicer this time. Yep. Just put it in the middle. These nice little ends back in here. It's magnetized in. Oh. Yeah, a friend showed me this thing and it looked cool, so that's how I found it. I didn't just randomly find this, I don't believe. I'm pretty sure my friend showed me this and I was like, oh, that's cool. And because I knew I was looking for keyboards still. I'm kind of out of that phase a little bit now because I have a lot of them. As you'll see, we're not done. We're not done yet. Oh no. In here. This is a big one. Look at this. The size of it. My God, man. The shadow of my camera shows up on it. It's so big. Full size. This is the Fiodio FK 2063. This one I also got for free because it was a Christmas present. And this is a mechanical keyboard. It's got this nice metal top to it. And the keys are, there's not really much of a, you know, these are pretty smooth keys, but yeah, these blue mechanical switches, very clicky, very loud. If you were asleep at this point in the video, you're now up. Sorry. Hardwired, USB, just regular USB. I don't know why I have to keep showing this, doesn't like it really matters, but just figure I will. Um, uh, again, build quality's pretty good. It's not like all super rattly or anything. The bottom's a little plasticky. This other stuff is plasticky. The faceplate, the plate on the top is metal though. This was like, I looked online on this. So this is about $45, but it's like a bestseller thing, whatever. It's like Amazon's Choice or whatever. On there, I'm seeing it for like, it was on sale and I just looked for like $25. So you can probably get this for even less. And let's take a look at it because, of course, what makes this so cool. Also, this is kind of like a shoestring braided cable thing like this. And it's turning on, turning on, turning on, turning on, turning on, turning on. Whoa! And now it's on. And let's shed some light off the situation. You know, why would you shed light on it? Really, if you're shedding, you're getting rid of it, right? If a dog sheds, they're getting rid of their hair, but with light. Just putting it on there. Again, you'll probably notice a bit of a weirdness moving across here. You don't see that in person. You don't see like a weird scan line looking thing. It's just the frequency of the camera. But so something to keep in mind here is you see the RGB stuff, and I don't know if you can really see that on because I got it up on camera that well. Kind of, yeah, a little bit. I love the way that like, especially in the top row here, the way like the light from these other keys shine onto the ones above them. Oh, it just looks so cool. Look at that. And it throws light everywhere and everything. Whoa, that's cool. It's very satisfying. It has all the keys you want. Like, yeah, I don't use home cluster, but then I have the separated arrow keys. I have the full regular numpad. The only thing you'll notice is that like you can't actually change any of these colors. These all are just hard set colors. You can swap the keycaps because I have done that. I do have a set of keycaps that I've swapped, and I might swap them back on, maybe, but I swapped it back to the original ones for showing this off. But yeah, like WASD and arrows, like these things are all like these sections and everything. These colors are set, so you can't change the colors. But there are different like. I might have to look up how to do the different modes. Are the keys labeled for that? I don't remember how you change modes and things on this. I might have to look at the manual on this one too. Because I know there's like a wheel on the top here, up here, and this just changes the brightness in this mode. When it hits the top of that, the little lights down there flash. They're like, yeah, you're at the top of it. It's supposed to change it to, if you push this button, it's supposed to change it to like office mode. And the light's just like off. But then like, and then the thing's supposed to, oh, this changes to all the different modes. Never mind. Maybe that's what's happening. Now this is how you change the modes. That's just that big button. Okay. Oh, I guess if you hold it, it changes to office mode. So now we got glowing, the pulsing. Does this still change the brightness of the pulse thing or no? Or does this change the speed? It changes the speed. I think I'm in the way when I do that. I don't know. This. Turn the keys off. You're pressing them. Okay. This one is just a passive mode, where it comes this thing across here. So those are all the lighting modes, and I guess the office mode is if you hold this down, I think. It could be full of it. I might be full of it. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. Is it an office mode? Yes, you hold it down, it turns into office mode, so then like you can change the volume. Slider thing up here. This thing up at the top here changes the volume on your computer. I guess I thought it turned the lights off, but I guess it doesn't. So you still have to turn the lights off manually if you want to do that. There's no indicator that this did a thing either, which is a little weird. So yes, this is the reason I saved this for last is because this is the on the road to the perfect keyboard. Is that even though I got this is the first one that I got that got me into getting a bunch of keyboards. This basically is the best one that I've had so far. I still really like this one. It's probably my favorite. This is probably the one I'm going to keep using as my main keyboard. This is just such a nice look and feel, and the sound, the feedback of the keys, just the audio and the feel, and just like, I mean, yes, it's very loud, but like, gosh, I really like it. Just, it looks so cool, it feels good, and it's like, it's simple. You just, you hit that thing, do stuff on it. Even though it's got like a zillion lighting modes I'm never going to use, it's still just, I really like this one. So definitely give it a thought, especially if you can get it for like, 25, 20 to 30 bucks. This is really nice. Unless you're looking for something, like super customizable and whatever and that kind of stuff, or something really fancy, you're looking for something more specific, this is a pretty good like starting place, and it's something I'm coming back to. So I'm definitely keeping this one for sure, because it might just be my mainstay. Very, very happy with it. Now we're getting into something a little different. Whoa, what's this? Whoa. Wow. This is the McCallie P Mobile Key. I think it says on the bottom there too. Yeah. Keyboard. You can tell by like the edges on this a little bit. The way these are kind of like folding up, and definitely in the back here, this stuff is really starting to come off. But this is like kind of like a, I like this. Looks very professional. It's very used, is what I'm saying with these. It's very used. I use it a lot. This was the very first keyboard I got for my phone. I think my phone's here. I think I have a thing open for it. Yeah, I left a thing open because it's attached to these anyways. I wanted to be able to type. Like when I found about Bluetooth things, like, oh, this would be way better than trying to type on my screen or whatever with my pudgy fingers on a virtual keyboard. I could just get a Bluetooth keyboard that's like thin. It's like it's thin. This is an iPhone 14, and it's like this is like thin. And it's like, it's not like way bigger or anything. So like that's cool. This was like $20. Let's open this up. It's just really simply just like boom, open, and it's already synced to my phone, so it's just on, and oh whoops, why did it turn off? Is it dead? Oh no, is it? No, it's not. It's very akin to like a it's just how flat and everything. It's very akin to keyboard style, like scissor switch keys. So it's very nice, very quiet. Feels pretty good. You've got all the keys you pretty much want on here. even like these little arrow keys, they have like halvesies for these. Those are good. Um, the only one that's like a little bit of a problem because you're like, oh, what about like this big, there's this big like uh, hinge in the middle, and the keys are like, because like I thought like, oh, split keyboard's gonna suck, but I very rarely am like hitting the exact middle of the keyboard when I'm using it, right? So I'm usually hitting on like the sides or something, so it doesn't really matter. Bigger T key is fine. Like none of these keys feel like that different. It's just that with a Y every once in a while, since it is right next to the hinge, sometimes I've adjusted to it pretty well, but like if I don't hit it squarely enough, sometimes I don't get enough force on it. The Y won't go. Like just like whatever, it went there. Okay. So it's not that hard to use or anything. And like for $20, do this and like that. Oh, I'm done. Boom. Put it in my pocket. I use it on my breaks at work a lot. Sometimes I just use it here when I'm at home. I'm just like, I just want to write something on my phone, like a longer post or something. I can use this. And I love that you can like just open it up and then close it, put it away, and it's small. And it's thin. And it's just light. And it's just awesome. The other thing though is to keep in mind that I got this from whatever seller. It wasn't like directly from them, from McCallie, and the thing is, the first one I got was defective. I tried to plug it in, like the sync, whatever light thing was just like, oh, it was freaking out. And I tried like plugging it in overnight in my phone charger actually, because it doesn't come with a wall adapter or whatever, just like micro USB plugs into there, and then I plug that into the USB end into my phone charger, and yeah, it what happened was it it didn't ever actually charge. Would never turn on. The light kept blinking rapidly, which is not something it's supposed to do according to the manual. It's not supposed to be a rapidly green blinking light. And it actually ended up bricking my phone charger, or at least the wall adapter part. The actual cord worked fine, so I could charge it through like my computer, and I had to get a replacement charger at that point. So that kind of sucked. Luckily, it had these like Anker ones, or whatever. I got a 2-pack of these, and I could use this for that. But like, yeah, that was kind of frustrating. So I contacted the seller. They weren't saying anything. Well, then I tried contacting the manufacturer to see if they had any tips about this to make it work or anything. The manufacturer was telling me that they need me to fill out like a form, and basically like fill out a form, and then mail this to like their whatever department, and then they'll look at it and determine if it can be fixed or if it needs to be replaced. Which sounds like a lot of effort and hassle to do for a $20 thing. So I was like, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to not do that. Just get a different one. But then the seller finally got back to me, and they were like, their only tip was like, try plugging it in overnight, which I already did. So I just waited a day and said that I did it, because I'd already done that. And yeah, it didn't work, so I gave them the whatever order number and stuff and whatever, and they just sent me another one, and that was this one. That's worked ever since. I got that, like, that was probably, gosh, that's probably 2019 that I got this, probably, which would mean that this has probably been kicking for almost 5 years now, and I use it a lot. As you can kind of tell, you could probably also tell a bit by the state of some of these keys, like the glossiness there, where you can tell I hit space here a lot. So my greasy fingers. So yeah, it's been very, very good. I also noticed that with that whole scenario, also I noticed that on the manufacturer website, this cost $60, whereas when I got it on Amazon, it was only $20, which makes me wonder if they just bought a bulk batch of them that were possibly defective, and then they just sold them at a lower price so that they essentially would still be making money on it. It would be an enticing deal. And then if it was defective, they would just send you another. That's why it was so easy to get another. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. I don't know. It's just a hunch I have. It's just a weird theory that I have. But um, I would still recommend these because they are good. I don't know if they're, well, they might be $60 good for how much I've used this. Honestly, it's very nice. Yeah, it came with a story. How about that? Next up, for mobile keyboards. Oh, yeah, another nice foldable one. This one's a little bit bigger. Right, you can put the phone on it. You're like, okay, well, that's a little bit bigger. You know, so it's a little bit thicker. Okay, but like, you know, this is the iClever BK05. I don't know how well it's gonna focus. And there also was a BK03 that I was looking at that was a little bit cheaper. This was $50. So here's the trifold. You see these big, things like this. These parts up here are little like legs. So like you kind of open up and you go like that, and then this. Then when it's open, it doesn't wobble. And this one is really nice. The key action is nicer than the other one. That was like this. I like the key layout. Like it's still nice. I mean, having these be full would be fine, I guess. But just fine this way too. Obviously, you can see again the some of the dirt and like stains and stuff, or whatever. It's like I obviously use this quite a bit too. This one's very good. And the keys are just a little bit bigger. They got a little more, play, a little more give to them, which makes them feel good. And ooh. The other thing is I also like there's no hinge. You'll notice all the hinge stuff is on the bottom and back and stuff like this, right? So like you have it open here, like you can maybe see like the lines of like where like these meet, like over here. You can kind of see like the lines where like it opens, but it's like such a clean thing here where you don't have to worry about any hinges or anything getting in your way. So that's awesome. You even get like function stuff, whatever. Like these things up here, like this is super nice, and we got to do it because yes, this is a backlit keyboard. If I remember right. I don't know if this will pick up on the mic at all. But there is a slight hum that goes on for some reason when the backlight is on. You obviously don't get quite the same level of battery life. Like the Macally one can last me like easily like a month or two, whereas this one might last me a few weeks. Depends on how much I use it. Also, of course, if you turn the backlight off, but you get more battery life. But I pretty much always leave it on, even though a lot of times in the light, I'm usually using this on my breaks at work mostly, or for typing stuff at home. Again, if I'm doing a post or replying something big at home, I'll use this with my phone. And I think Does this do it? Now that turned it off. So no. How do I switch? How do I switch the light? There's a way to switch the light. I don't remember how. Because I never use it. So leave it on this. You can use it as a wired thing too. What does this do? Does this turn the keyboard off? Oh, here's the on-screen keyboard. So where's the lighting thing? It's a thing. Is it like a different colored thing on here? Well, guess who has to look at the booklet again? So actually, does this go up higher? Yeah. So it's off, dim, bright. And to get that, you have to go this to go, and then it's like, now it's red. I almost never do that because it's just so dim. Like, that's even like, you know, like, I feel like this is giving it more justice than in person. I can barely see this right now. And then, it's the arrow keys, and then green, which is okay. I can see green okay, but I feel like the blue I see the best, and I like it better than green. So I just leave it on blue. Actually, green's probably a little easier to see. So the camera's definitely compensating well for this. But yeah, I usually leave it on this. And the only other thing to keep in mind with that... Oh, also, I guess I should show this too. For part of your $50, you also get this little stand thing. I think this might be loud. Oh, it's not bad. See, be like, oh, well, put that in your pocket, take it out, unfold it, set your phone up. Hey, you're not touching that, right? Yeah, see, it stays in there, it's fine. You know, it's the thing. Yeah. And it's, like I said, there's the BKO3 is like basically the same as this, but not backlit. So I almost got that, but the stand I never really use. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's a little bit of, you know, there's a little bit of like padding on here. A little, I don't know. It just takes up kind of a lot of space in the pocket when you realize you have like, also closing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just a little more. It's a little more than just being like open, it's on, close, and it's off, like the other one. And because this is metal, it does feel sturdy, but it's heavy, so it's bigger and heavier. It's gonna weigh your pocket down, and plus this, it's just a lot of pocket real estate for having this set up. So like you're gonna use a bag or something, it makes a little more sense. But I usually use. If I could move this. Oh. I usually use this Lamicall stand instead. I originally got this to put my Switch on it for handheld mode, or I guess not handheld mode. What do they call it? Actually, what the hell do they call it again? They have docked, they have handheld, and then they have tabletop mode. That's what they called it. So it's, this way I can put it here and then fish the cord underneath to charge it. I got this. I also have used this with my phone a lot for like certain like streamy things and stuff, and then like plug my phone in under it, like the cable snaking under there. So it's just like a nifty stand for displaying stuff and doing other things with it too. It's a nice metal, it folds up and everything. And it's, you know, I mean, this isn't really a video about this, but this is, I just use this usually instead of this at home. When I'm out, I usually just set my phone on the table or something. I don't usually need to have it propped up, even if sometimes it would be nice. I'm not going to bring this big metal thing around with that big metal thing in my pocket, and I'm not going to put this thing in my pocket with this. It's too much real estate. Alright. My light in the back there is getting pretty close to being dead. I don't have a way to easily plug it in right now because I didn't think I would have to. This here, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Ooh. These keys are kind of like cool to the touch almost a little bit. This definitely feels kind of premium. It's all like, it's like a nice like metal stuff. I mean, this top part I think is kind of plasticky. This is like metal. It's like heavy. Yeah. And this is the Royal Clutch. Actually, I had this before that other one. This is the first Royal Clutch one that I got. The Arcade 925. I'll show you this little feature. It also has a little fold-out thing right here. If I can get it. Boink. Boink. And it's like, oh, yeah. Kind of show, yeah, let's put my phone in there. Boom, there we go. Oh. Yeah, see? It's holding the phone up. It gets really close to the desk over here because I don't have enough space away from it. But yeah, it does that. I almost never use that because my last phone had too fat of a case on it, so I never could use that. This one intrigued me. I mean, you can kind of see here that the it's like the keys, it's very flat and everything, and also, ooh, it's backlit, right? Awesome. You use it Bluetooth, or you can use it wired. A weird wired quirk is that if you have it plugged in, it'll do this thing where every once in a while it'll because it tries to shut the backlight off still, but then like every few seconds there'll be like a little like flash in it, and it's because it's like it kind of looks like it's almost like it's trying to turn back on, like it wants to stay awake, and then it remembers it is supposed to be off. So like it kind of looks like, you know, ever see like lightning behind like a storm cloud far off in the distance? It's kind of like a dim like little like lightning happens behind the clouds or whatever, a little like quick cloudy like dim flash. It kind of looks like that. It still has this thing of like, you know, you have arrows, you hear the clicks. It's a mechanical keyboard. I think these are supposed to be like red equivalent switches, but these are also very shallow keys for that. And you can connect up to 3 devices. Neat, right? Now, yeah, the backlight's good. The key presses are okay. These are very like smooth keys and stuff, but I think like I kind of like the give on it, but I also have had some issues a little more lately. I usually use this actually with my Steam Deck because it can connect to Bluetooth, and I just leave it plugged in so the battery's always fine. So that if I'm not necessarily plugged into the dock, I can still, type stuff on there if I need to type something quick. I also have a mouse that I use with it too, very occasionally. So it's a neat accessory. Again, mostly my problem is that sometimes when I'm hitting keys, they don't go. So I have to hit them harder, and I don't know if it's because they're getting too much dust built up in them from just sitting out, or if it's because they are just having connectivity issues. I don't know. But the main other reason, right, is a mechanical keyboard, sure. I like having the arrows, sure. But the other thing, the reason I got this that intrigued me is because it is actually a folding mechanical keyboard. Well, that would be cool to use a folding mechanical keyboard. I could have the feel of a mechanical keyboard, but fold it up and put it in my pocket and use it like for like my phone. I didn't realize it was this is all metal, so it's a lot of metal, so it's very heavy, so it's gonna weigh down my pants and everything. Anyways, it's also not super small or it's not super thin. So you're like, well, this is look how chunky this is. Look at this crap. It you're thinking, well, it folds, right? Where does it fold? It folds in the stupidest way possible. Like this. So, your keys are just out, and it's they're out there, so you probably don't want to, it comes with a bag you can put it in, but then there's another layer to make it even thicker to put it in something, and then it also, I guess it has a box, because, you're going to get debris and stuff in this thing, right? It's just open like this, and also, you're going to get, you could damage the keys and stuff, because they're just kind of out and exposed, so you probably want to put this in a bag or something more so than anything else, right? Saving a whole lot of space to fold it up this way, or something. And as far as the pocketability, okay, here's the thing, it will, oh dear God, what did I do? What have I done? It will sort of go into your pocket. That's as far as it'll go in my pocket. So yeah, I don't know really what the thought was. Did I accidentally hit the switch on this or something? I hope not. Well, I'll find out. Oh, maybe I did, because it went like that. So if I do this, yeah, I think I bumped the power switch. Anyways, I actually assume the power switch or just the wireless wired. I don't remember. I don't know how you do anything with this thing. It's probably the power switch. Anyways, yeah, that's $70 this was, which is why I will say don't get it. It's way too expensive. It doesn't feel that good. It feels a little gummy, kind of, if that makes sense. The little sluggishness of the switches. They're a little quieter for red switches, I guess. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend this keyboard because it's just stupidly expensive and heavy, and folding is stupid, and nothing about this is really is behooving you. You should just get, if you want to get a folding keyboard that folds in a proper way, that you actually is light enough and small enough to fit in your pocket, that won't be weirdly exposed, or get a nice, more full, big mechanical keyboard, or you have better options for everything. This is just a disaster. And I actually, when I looked online again, looking up the prices and stuff on these, I don't think this one was even available on Amazon anymore, so I don't think it did super well. If that means anything. Alright, officially down to 1 bar on the other light, but that's okay, because I don't think most of these other things need it. I think we'll live. Hold on, let me check something here. Yeah, okay. So here we have, continuing on with the folding trend, because I kind of figured out, you know what, folding keyboards. At one point I decided, I think a folding thing seems to work probably the best for this, to put it in my pocket. Phone comparison quick on this one, just before we really reveal it. We got, you know, this, again, iPhone 14 for scale. Thickness, I mean, I have like a pretty thin case on this, so like, when, you know, so it's like, yeah. And this is the H-Short, A-C-H-O-R-T. The H-Short, I don't even think I have the model number. And you can see when it's up here, and it's like, oh, you get a trackpad. And, oh yeah, the shake test is fine. And these have like a very slight texture to the keys. So like a neat idea to have this. I was kind of wondering how to use this. Like I could use the mouse a bit, you know, like these little clicky bits here. Wait, they don't actually click. Oh, they do click. Oh, I'm a liar. These bits actually click. I did not know that. Wow, you learn something new. Well, today, anyways. This one, however, while I do really like the keys, actually feel pretty nice the way they push and everything. This one had this problem of I make typos on it all the time, and it's because like some of these keys are a little small, and some of like the stuff here is like, I think it's because of the way they've broken these up. Like sometimes they'll hit here on the space bar, so I can't hit here, and it feels like a weird, like, you know, stretches around these keys, like especially like this T is really small and it's hard to hit it with this thing here. All these are kind of like small around here, the way they've done this. So like I just make so many typos on this that, like, if it weren't for that, it would be decent keyboard. Even connections like, you know, USB-C cable. What is it here? So like it's a decent feel for a lot of that stuff, but like it just doesn't, you know, it doesn't quite. If I didn't make typos on it, it would be good. If you can adjust to this and not make typos on this, that's not too bad. Well, how much was this? It's like $28. So maybe a bit much for something. Again, it's not backlit or anything. But if you're typing a lot, like on a phone or something, and you need like a little pad thing or something, anything where you could use like this little mouse thing, like this was kind of neat to use for navigating apps and stuff. If my phone was in, like, the idea being like if my phone's like hooked up to like a tripod or something, or like, you know, I've set it up in a way where I can't, you know, don't want to be poking the screen all the time, I can use this to guide that around. So I thought that was a neat idea. But wait. We have another keyboard here from Urkovia. And this one is like this. So it's like, oh, look, ooh, it's silver. Oh, that looks nice, right? Now, okay, first of all, let me just say, the silver and white look, very nice, very classy. The keys, key pressing feels pretty nice. Slight, you know, texture on here. You'll notice that these are basically the same dimensions and everything, except this one has the numpad and this one has that. These are totally different pages and stuff, right? Totally different pages for both of these things. Store pages and everything. So when I bought them, I thought I was getting two entirely different keyboards. And when they showed up, they were like this. And obviously this one has the same issues of, like, well, this divider thing is like, these keys are a little small also, and this divider thing is just like inconvenient, and so I make typos on it constantly with all this stuff. Same as this. They share the same problems. When they showed up, the box that came in looked like this. So I believe there's probably just some company made these, and then a lot of people to buy them and put their own branding on them. And instead of even bothering to do that, they just both of these companies just got them and sold them and put like a sticker on them and just decided to put all the effort into making different looking advertising on their pages for them in the storefront. So if that's fun, on the bright side, this one was actually $36 instead of $28. So you might think, oh well, he spent like twice as much money now because he bought the same thing. No, I actually spent even more on getting on two of the same things. And if I actually just got two of the exact same thing, I would have spent less on two of these than getting one of these and one of these. But I guess it could be worse. I could have bought two of these and spent even more. And in the end, it really would be just as bad because I don't like either of them because I thought they were different. So that was my bad, my mistake. If you can adjust to these though, they wouldn't be too bad because like the finish and feel and stuff, like they're not horrible. But I just can't adjust to them. Here we have the gaze. Is it guys? Is it yes? Whatever this is. I thought, oh, that'd be neat, like a long folding one like this, but still kind of small would be cool, right? Got a nice metal top on here, and the back plate's actually metal too. And so you unfold this, and you do this, and then you open it up. And I think this might be at least metal plated on this part. And it's like this. It also has this little bit here. If I can get it out, it's kind of hard to... Oh, god damn it. Oh, it's so hard to get that thing open. That's the little shelf where you kind of wedge your phone into it. Sure, yes, it is holding the phone up a little bit there. This is not connected to my phone right now. As you can tell, I've already used these, and I disconnected them from my phone after I was finally done with them, because I'm like, I'm never using these again. And mainly this thing's problem, I mean, this kind of moves around a little bit too, like, because it's not like fully flush with the floor, whatever, the thing it's on. I mean, the color's kind of nice, I guess, but like, these keys are like not great. They're also like, they're all like kind of small. They're a little on the small side. These things are especially, you can tell they're really tiny. Like, just get out of here. Like, look at these keys up here. Like, these keys are like flipping tiny. This cue is like a mile long. Like, I don't know. And it's just weird to hit some things, and like its shifts are all like tiny, and enter's tiny. And they were clearly trying to like save some space on this and work with it. And I guess if you don't have a phone up there, you can kind of do this. But like, would you want to? I doubt it. This is like, basically, it was a disaster. It was really hard to type things correctly on this, and I ended up just like, I tried it for like maybe a couple days, and I was like, I can't. This is terrible. And how much did this cost? $34. Don't. I'm holding the local upside down. Don't spend $34 on this. Don't spend any money on this. If someone gives you this, try it out so you can make a review of how you don't like it, and then throw it away. I mean, I might not throw it away. Somebody might want it, maybe. I don't know. But, like, you get the idea. It's bad. I really didn't have much more to say about this stuff other than it was bad. I'm glad I didn't do, like, a full-on review video for this, because it's just... yeah. Moving away from the foldable keyboards, this is something that I thought was way smaller when I got it, because I thought this was like one of those little slab things where you would put your phone in the holder up here. I didn't realize, I guess I didn't pay close enough attention to the store page when I was looking at it, but the box kind of gives it away too. That's like a freaking iPad up there. So I probably should have paid more attention to this, but this is the IK 3381 by Jesenov. That's capital GECEN and then lowercase INOV, all one word. And this was actually only $30. And I don't know how to see if you can tell this. Got like, again, you can have some of like a subtle texture on the keys. Most of these are concave, except for like space is convex. Some of these things down here are convex keys. A lot of these are concave. And my other phone, again, had too fat of a case to really fit up there. But this one fits up here just fine. You can just move it around. You can go ahead and like type it or whatever. And I like being able to go around and like type, like have this in my lap and just have my phone there and I can just write stuff like that. It's really handy, especially when like watching TV in another room or something, or if I want to sit down and still type stuff. Or if I have this set on like a squishier surface, like, you know, put it on top of like my chair or something, or like put it on a couch, you still have like, you don't need like a solid surface because it's all just one piece here. And it's like, again, it's not very rattly. It's really well built. The keys are also nice. Like they have a certain amount of like give to them. They're not like super flat laptop keys. They're not super loud, but there's like enough give to them that they feel nice. I wanted to try the circle keys out, and like there's not a whole lot of advantage to it being a circle other than you're less likely to hit, you know, double keys because there's spaces between them, I guess. That's about all I can really say for that. You connect this to 3 devices also if you want, and it runs on I mean, like, also I'm going to say, like, you probably wouldn't use this for a computer because you have this big blank space you're not going to be using if you did, unless you connected it like to a computer. Then also have like your phone up here, so like, oh, I'm typing on my computer, and now, oh, I want to type something on my phone, and then switch things. But turning it on, it does take a little while for it to, when it automatically goes to sleep or whatever, you do turn it on again. Even when you first turn it on, it just takes a little while for it to reconnect, so that can be a little annoying. So weird things about this. This does run, actually, it's not rechargeable or battery or anything. It runs on AAA batteries. Some kind of weird things here is that where the AAA batteries goes back here, but like there's also this weird extra slot area there that I don't know what that's about. There's also, I guess you notice there's not really much branding other than whatever this thing is. I don't know what that's for. I assume whatever company actually made this probably put that here. They they have the sticker here that's clearly covering something up, like a hole or a screw or something. Usually you would put some information of some kind on this, I imagine, but they've just done this. I guess it passed some kind of quality test. And the other thing is also on this side, there's like this weird little bump here. This looks like this is a place where you would have it like plug in if you had a rechargeable battery in here, or if it was like wired or something, you would put the port for that here. But this just hasn't been punched out, so it's just this weird flat thing on the side. But all that being said, I may still keep this because situationally I still use it. I might not, I don't know. I like what I can do with it, I just don't know how often I will do that with it. I haven't used it a lot. I've used it a handful of times, and it is good, but it's probably just a bit outside of my normal use cases to be very useful, and it's not backlit or anything. Yeah. Here we have the i8 Mini Plus. And this is something I got somewhat early on because it was a different. I was trying to look for different kinds of keyboards and things. And this reminds me of like my old slider where you'd have, you know, your phone and you'd be like, oh yeah, you have like a regular phone, and then it was like, oh, slide it up and then you have a keyboard like that. That kind of slider. My first two phones were that. So this looks, you know, like a similar kind of mechanism to that. You can hear there's a bit of a clicky feedback to this, but these are very soft buttons. A little mouse area here. You've got multimedia stuff around here, which just kind of look like a D-pad and button, so I thought I could play games with it, but I haven't found anything that really like does that. So some neat, you know, accessibility functions up here and stuff, but like, you know, mouse clicks and stuff. It's an interesting thing. Also really like the color, but then around back here you can see this actually connects. This will open for me. Oh god. You guys gotta make it seem a little easier to open. Very relaxing, me struggling to do that. There's the 2.5 gigahertz receiver. It also can connect via Bluetooth. So I like having those options. They're cool. These things on the back here. Yeah, those ain't padding. They're not really. They're slightly grip, but they're still hard. And so I've liked that it was kind of like my slider keyboard. There's also yeah, it's happening. It's happening. That's right. This bad boy. Backlit. Not the most even backlighting or anything. And you can't see some of like the extra function things and whatever when it's like this. It doesn't light up everything on here, but it's enough light to see what you're doing in the dark, and so that's pretty cool. I will say that this is somewhat useful for like, I used this when I streamed on my phone a couple of times on Instagram, and I had it like in a set up in a specific spot where I don't want to poke it and get it out of position. I could use the mouse part to navigate some of the things on my screen, and I could type stuff with this. To like write things. And it's still faster than, you know, trying to use the on-screen keyboard for the most part in a lot of situations, but the thing is, you know, oh man, here's my phone or whatever. One was my phone. I want to type something. I have to set my phone down to do this. At this point, I might as well have one of those other keyboards and just, like that, right? Which is not the way you're going to do this. You're going to type a lot faster since I have to use two hands anyways. So, it's small. It's small, it's thin, it's light, but it probably works better as like a TV remote to quickly type things on a smart TV or something than it does for actually being like a keyboard for a phone or a computer or something like that. It's only going to be a very niche situational thing at best for that, I think. And this was, $26. $26. Oh, that light's really holding out at one peg. It's gonna die soon here, but also just realized I've been doing this for I think over an hour. I think it's been close to an hour and a half, I think, of me recording maybe. So hopefully this isn't insane of a video to upload. It's probably gonna take a while. But anyways, here's this. You can see I didn't zoom anything. This is just the size of this. This is the Broadcom V3.0 mini Bluetooth keyboard, which only says so on the box. This even says it's like mini Bluetooth keyboard on the back. So like the thing of this, it's very small, it's very thin, it's very light. This is what this is. That's the thing. And also, yes, this was $14, so it's also fairly cheap. And this is another one that's kind of the slider style. Just taking a look at that. There's definitely a lot of functions on it. I don't know how well you can tell, like, when you push it one key, though, like, other keys around it kind of move a little bit. I mean, it's, like, a very, it's not, like, the most sturdy thing. But it has a lot of things on it, which is nice, because they crammed a lot onto this really small thing. So this is a really impressive how much you can do with this little thing. But again, this is something probably better relegated to like a smart TV keyboard or something like that, because again, the same kind of thing. If like if I have two hands on this, I can use two hands like this because I can't hold my phone at the same time. And also, there's no backlight on this, and also with one of the functions and things, like some of the symbols are like weird, and so like there's also, there's two function keys to hit these different things around here, but there's only one shift key. So if I want to do like a capital Q, you either have to be like, let me get over here so I can actually do it like normal. Like if I want a capital Q, it's like, okay, shift Q, or I have to be like shift Q or like shift Q. There's no like real like easy way. It's a big stretch to do some of these things. So like finding where all the little characters are. Some things are in normal spots, some things definitely are not, because they had to be moved, because it's also like a grid style looking thing. So if you adjust to it, you can get proficient, and it'll be decent. But it's just not really worth doing when, again, the other keyboards I have just way outdo this, so I shouldn't have bothered. But it looks different, and like the slider thing, and I got suckered in, because I'm a sucker. Also, the power button, the power switch rattles. And last but certainly least, this is the EB Tools rolling keyboard. Yeah. So this thing is just a disaster. I mean, you know they're proud of it when they don't have their brand name on it, but they do put Bluetooth really huge on the bottom here of this thing. We got the license to use Bluetooth, guys. The keys are so small that you can't really use your normal muscle memory to like hit things on here. You'll be hitting incorrect keys. You really have to adjust to that, which maybe you could do. Especially these keys up here are freaking microscopic. I mean, look how close I gotta get for this to look like a normal sized thing. The phone for comparison, you know. Also, the way you can roll it up is kind of limited because it's like, well, I'm just have to roll it up at like, you know, like this, because it's the only way you can really roll it. But these have this like hard bit, so it's not like all easy to maneuver like this. And like, I don't know, like you can't really like roll it around there. I mean, maybe you could. You can kind of do this. I guess, sort of, is maybe the best you could do. But oh, they also have other nice labels on the back that aren't them. It also has the problem where it's very inconsistent with the keys. So even if you adjusted to being able to type on this tiny keyboard and got the muscle memory for it, the weird just like in a membrane crap here is so inconsistent that like sometimes when you hit a key, it's fine. Sometimes you'll hit a key and it won't do anything. Sometimes you'll hit a key and it'll do it twice. Why? I don't know. Something to do with the sensitivity of the stuff making contact with here or not making contact. You know, that kind of thing where it's just like it's kind of a crapshoot. So you're gonna make way more typos on this based on those two issues combined. I mean, like it was only $5, right? So you're like, maybe why would I complain, right? I mean, the other thing is like the real reason I wanted this, though, the real reason I was interested in this is the advertising, which I saw later. They must have changed it slightly so it didn't sound as crazy. This was advertised as dust-proof, waterproof, and acid-resistant. So like dust-proof, sure, it's all contained as a thing. Dust isn't gonna hurt this, so I'll buy that. Acid-resistant? What? Like, I guess if you work in a battery factory, or like if you're on a spaceship with the alien from Alien, and it drools on your keyboard, it'll be kind of okay. I mean, it says acid resistant, so it's not acid proof. Acid will damage it, but maybe if you get some acid on it and then like get it off right away, it'll be okay. I don't even really know what that means. It's like it might not totally break with acid, but you know, no guarantee. Don't do it on purpose. I don't know. Waterproof. Now, I can believe that all of this is waterproof. But, I mean, just a port there, right? So, like, if water gets in there, isn't this going to be screwed? And I don't know. Like, that's the thing, is that, yes, like, that seems like that would be a problem. There's no, like, cap on there or anything. The advertising said nothing about, like, what it was graded for or anything, how much water. I mean, like, yes, I'm sure if you spilled water on the top of it, it would be fine. And that's probably what they meant. But if you check out that video linked in the description, I do the test. I put this, submerged it in water, and it worked for a few seconds, and then it freaked out a little bit, and then it was dead. So this will be thrown away because it doesn't work anymore. Yeah. But that's all of my keyboards. To show you way, having this mat like this really shows any piece of dust there, doesn't it? Why does it look so white right here? I guess that's where my mouse usually is. Maybe I can adjust this without freaking anything out. For this final shot here. Oh no, I'm behind the mic. It probably sounds weird. I was just gonna quick show. Well, I don't really need to show my desktop, but I wanted to show you my my laptop keyboard. Now this it's a very nice, it's scissor switches, it's whatever, it's a standard laptop keyboard, something like amazing, but it's backlit, it's built in, it's nice, and it's the 20th keyboard I can show you. So, yeah, I just thought I would do that quick for the end of the video. So hopefully everyone enjoyed it. We all had a good time. And that helps me justify getting all of these different keyboards. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. So hopefully it was cool. And now I can safely get rid of some of these and not feel bad. And to be honest with you, I can't believe that's that light that I have in the back there. Not the color changing one that you can kind of see there, but the Elgato Keylight Mini. That thing, I didn't charge it at all before this. It was like running on, I think it was pretty much full, but like it's been on one peg for a while now, so I kind of was just waiting for it to shut itself off. But now I'm starting to think it won't for a while. So instead of just having a bunch of more dead air while we wait for that, or rambling until it happens, I might just end the video. But if you guys showed up here, if you are here, thanks for showing up and watching. Hopefully it wasn't too weirdly loud in parts. Hopefully I didn't ramble too terribly in a way that was like not conducive to relaxing and sleeping and all that ASMR stuff. And have a great